Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name's Deanna. Today we'll be working on week number 48 of my 52 weeks of Christmas. We're going to be making a snow globe type of display. And I am going to be using this mixed nut can here, and it was the 1 pound 12 ounce size. My cousin had given me this can and said, try to come up with something for this. So that's what we're going to do. I've measured it in half so I can use this half as another item. And I just took my ruler, and I have this clear ruler here. And what I did was I just lined it up and went along at 2 inches and just kind of kept marking it. I use this part of the ruler because it's 2 inches. So I just went along and marked it, and rolled the ruler around there just like that, and then cut it out with my X-Acto blade. I'm going to go ahead and set this part aside. So I'm going to use this one because it really doesn't matter to me. I would decorate the back anyway. So what I've done is, before we do that, I want to show you, I made some poinsettias up. So I cut these on my Cricut. You could get pre-made ones if you want. These ones were from my Cricut, and they come like this. You get 4 of the red ones and 1 green one to cut out. And these are actually, I think it's about 2 3/4 inches. So I cut out 4 of the red, 1 of the green. Got a little gem here. We're just going to glue those together, and then I'll show you how I decorated them. So I've taken my cat's eye and I used the red on the edges there, and it helps them look a lot better. And then I used the green of this cat's eye for the green ones, and it just kind of gives them a little more dimension and a better look than just the plain red. So you get those out of the way. So I'm going to start with the green. I put a little dab of glue in the center there, and now I'm going to offset that red one there, a little dab. And then I just started kind of going just a little off of the one before. You can do it the other way too if you want, like this. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to just put more glue, kind of center those. I didn't have any troubles with that glue grabbing earlier. Now all of a sudden I'm having trouble. And set this one in, and I just kind of every time just break the difference. Put a little dab there. We'll set that gem in there. So my tweezers here a second. Usually a little easier. Of course, not right now that I say that, right? Oh, goodness sakes. I hope the whole video don't go like this. This will make it for a long video. There we go. And then I have a mix here in this box of glitter and Epsom salts. Looks like I got a stem there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of my art glitter glue, and I'm going to just put it on the tips of these and on the bigger leaf part there. And I just do that to all of them here, whichever you want. I just want a hint of it. On the top ones I use a little bit more because it's going to be more visible. Just spin around there. Just like that. This gives it a nice look here. I'll show you one that's dried here in just a second. You can paint this on with a brush if you want. You just tip it upside down in there like that. And do this. Just get it good and covered like that. All right. Let's see. So then it looks like that. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Out of the way so I don't bump that, and then we'll show you some dried ones. There we go. This is what they look like when they're dried. So nice. And so I've got, I actually made a smaller one too. It's just a little bit smaller. These are just some items I have selected to use in my decoration. This was a bird on a pick, and I just repainted them to coordinate with the paper line that I'm using, which is an older line. It's the Graphic 45 Winter Wonderland one, and I used one full page of this, and this is the scraps I have left from that, just these little pile here from that one sheet. And then I used I'm going to use this strip here from this piece, and then I used one of the stamps, and then just another little piece of the sticker there, or of the little tab there, out of that sheet. And I just used one of the tags out of the tag sheet. Now this is from Humpty Dumpty Mother Goose collection. I used the green from this because I have a lot of this. And then I also used the July montage from the Children's Hour collection. I used the red from this. And I used these because they coordinate with it anyway. And I have a lot of those two. So that's why I use that. And then I also, off the cover here, I just cut out the bird that was on here. I'm going to use that in the display too. So those are the papers I used. I'll get those out of the way. There we go. Okay. Get this out of the way. So what I did was on my Cricut, and you can do this without a Cricut. You just would take your can or whatever you're using and put it on your paper. And I used just photo things. You could use cereal boxes, whatever is big enough for you to use. This just happened to be some of my stash that I had. I keep things like this. So this is what I used to create these. So all you would have to do is lay your container on there, and then I went a 1/2 inch out. I did all mine on my Cricut because it was faster for me, but this is how you would do it if you didn't have a Cricut. So without a Cricut, you would do that. So you need one whole base, 1/2 inch bigger, and then what I did was I went and I snipped up to the 1/2 inch mark all the way around, so that these are going to fold in and be glued around this edge. Now for the top, I did the same thing, only I did the 1/2 inch bigger, but then in the center of that, so I actually cut 2 of these, and then the center of one, I went in and drew around the inside of this can here. I wanted this lip. And then I just cut that center circle out of there. Okay, so that's my bottom, which is going to go here because I want this lip. So that's my bottom. So we can go ahead and glue that down. And I think I'm just going to use my glue here. I'm just going to get this kind of ready here. Hot glue would work pretty good, but it can leave lumps, and I don't want bumps underneath there. So we'll try it with this art glitter glue first, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go on to plan B, but I'm hoping this works. There we go. All right, I think I didn't. We'll know in a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom, and I'm just going to pull these up like so. That might not, I'm just going to press them on there. Okay. Looks like it's trying here. Just going to take a little bit. And then, so then once I got those all done, then I went around and I painted the edges red, as you can see on here, just in case when I put my stuff on that it's visible, then I wanted that covered. So I just used red paint, nothing fancy, just red acrylic paint, and painted all the edges there. I also cut out with red cardstock. You can use any color cardstock you want. This was just going to coordinate with the papers I'm using. I cut out a circle for the back, and it's another circle rim for the front here that will fit on there perfect. And the back one should cover perfect too. So it's the same size. It just doesn't have that extra ½ inch all the way around that we needed for. And we do this, if you've ever sewn, then you know why we do it. But if you don't, then that allows us to have that bend in there so we can go up. Otherwise it will not go up on the edge. It won't bend. It will create little puckers. So, and we don't want that. So by doing that, you get those nice little edges. And you can do, you don't have to just do the straight lines. You can do like little triangles and cut triangles out so you don't have that much bulk, but there, just like that. See, and then this red circle's cut to fit right on there, just like that. Okay, so let's get our other piece on here first. All right. I think I'm going to put my inside piece in here. So for my inside, I took, this is the only piece I used from that Humpty Dumpty one. So this strip is cut at 2 inches. And then this was one of the strips left from this. And so we're going to use that. I think that was it. No, this was actually from that one sheet that I got the other little word strips from in the stamp. This was on there. Okay, so we're going to glue this like right in the center here. Just kind of eyeball it. Just like that. Now this will not go all the way around, but it will go far enough in there and around that it's not going to matter, because get that down there. It isn't going to be seen down in here anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So let's go ahead and get some glue on there. It'll just be easier to do this right now before I keep putting stuff on here. Now I have been working all day getting this ready, and a little bit last night. So a lot has gone into it. I did not pre-make this, so we might run into a little glitch here. This was just in my head. It was in my head, and I thought, yeah, I think I can do that. So I've just been kind of playing around with the idea. There we go. And then just kind of figuring out what I had to do to get everything to go around and do what it needs to do. Okay, so that's what that looks like then in there. All right, that feels pretty good. So now we can go ahead and do the same thing we did to that one with this one. Now I have a piece. Let me put my bottom in here. Okay, so this is one of the sheets from the house from the main sheet. And I'm going to put that right down there. And yes, I do know that it does not go all the way down. It's not going to matter because I cut some of the other edges off to use as different parts of this. So I got it's not fitting in there just perfect though. Like that. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and put our glue on there, and we'll get this piece in. There we go. All right. So now I want that to line up with those. It's good enough. There we go. Just like so. And since that's the bottom piece, then that's where, so that's nice and doing there. It'll be easier to get in there now. The rest of them I'm not too worried about. This one is one that I just took a piece of white cardstock and I used these stamps here. Just a couple. I used this one and then this little one here. And it's just an Inka Dinka stamp set 6031346. And I just took, like I said, a regular piece of paper, my cardstock, and I used my antique linen distress ink to get the darker tone in that would coordinate with this paper. And then I just used some faded burlap ink for the trees, and then this other Stampabilities one, just brown. Used a little bit of that because it was a little bit lighter. I've cut just scrap pieces of my chipboard, and I've stacked them, glued them 3 high on there. That's going to go right down there like that. So let's go ahead and put some glue on these. And I just kind of cut it at a, like, rounded edges around the thing there. I'll show you a second here. Let me get my glue starting to set up a little bit. So just kind of like you would do if you're creating a snow edge or something. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And then that conceals, let me tilt it this way just a little bit. That conceals that edge that was flat, okay? Plus it gives me some more dimension. As you can see, it kind of blends in with that grass on there, okay? So then the next layer I cut was also from that. That was off the bottom here. And as you can see, that's going to go there. Did the same thing, 3 high on the pieces of scrap chipboard. And sometimes I use those rather than using up my foam things. And that's going to sit right like that. Actually, I might want that further. Yeah, let's go ahead and add some more chipboard to that. Bring that even up further. So let me get another piece of scrap piece here. And my old scissors. Like I said, I did not put this together, so this is what we're going to have. Maybe a little bit of this kind of stuff going on till I figure it out here. I don't know how many I'm going to need. I think I'm going to go another, can I get that off of there? I might want to add more to this one too. Let's bring this one up higher too. Let's get another chipboard here. Save the small ones for that. Just since I've got glue on there, let's go ahead and set those on there. I want these sitting just a little bit further. Let's do you can make that 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and put those on there. Do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. That's 6 on that one. It don't matter which way they're facing. 1, 2, 3. As long as they're not visible. 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, let's see this one now. See where we're at here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Okay, now let's build this one up. Oopsie. Oh, fell off of there. There we go. There we go. What we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if that's high enough. Oh, I think I'm going to go a little bit higher. Let's add another couple of them on there. And I'm doing that because this is so deep. You could not make this so deep, or you can put more layers in. It depends on what your display is going to be. You could have a bunch of different layers. You could have like layers of snow and snowmen, or just depends on what your back theme is going to be. There it is. And so you could absolutely do more layers. Let me see this here a second. Oh yeah, so that's better. That is better. I don't like how that's showing now. Let me pop these up here. I don't want that showing that much, so I'm going to try to even those out. Okay. Even them out. There we go. Like that. Let's just... And I'm gluing these two because there is a... Actually, I'm going to glue these 3. And then we're going to put glue there and glue on the bottom, because this is, if you look under there, see that? There you go. There. All right, let's do another test fit here. Perfect. All right, so now that's better. Let's go ahead and glue those in again. Okay. That looks much better. Raised up a little bit more. Okay. Slide it back in there. And no harm was done because it's all in places that can't be seen anyway, so it's not a big deal. There we go. I was just sliding it in there. All right. So let's go ahead and get our glue back on this one here. And slide that in like that. Okay. Like that. There we go. And then we have one more piece here. And this one is actually from that same section there. And it's just looks, it's a little picture of, you can see the little kids playing, and it's like a deck. So I'm just going to glue that on the bottom of this here. So I'm just going to put some glue right in here, just like that, and then place this down. Let me see where it's got to be here. Just like that, I think. All right. So that's going to be like that. And then this is going to get glued on top here in a second. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get our glue ready on here. I wonder if I just put the, if I put the glue right on here and press it on there, that might work good. Maybe a little easier, we'll see. Don't usually do it this way, so I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we'll just try it. All right. So now we can match this up here. I want that right there like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to flip it upside down and start pressing that into there again. And I'm being careful not to press too hard on my bottom because that is just a thin like chipboard, so you don't want to press too hard. Bend it out of shape. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to work. That's the only bad thing about, and art glitter glue usually sets up pretty good, but it takes a little bit longer than hot glue. But like I said, I really don't want the bumps underneath there. I want it to be as smooth as I possibly can have it. Come on, stick. All right, let's oh, that looks like plenty of glue there. Maybe too much. Let me see here. Here, oops, sorry. Come on. Start holding. Not sure why. Okay. Yeah, it's got glue on there. Should have plenty. Maybe it's too much. All right, come on. Maybe I have too much glue on there. Let's see. Let's wipe some off here. All right. Yep, I think that's it. I think it just had maybe too much glue along that edge. So let me work some of that off of there. There we go. And I don't care if glue's on the outside. That doesn't bother me any. Because, oh yeah, that's what it was. Just too much glue along that edge. Okay. That's working better now. All right. I think this is going to be really cute when it's all done. At least I'm hoping. A lot of work has gone into figuring it out, so I hope it yeah. Here. I think that little lip on there is keeping it from doing it too. There we go. Okay. That side has that extra little lip that is trying to go around. that might be part of the problem too. Just an extra little piece of metal lip on there that it's trying to get over. All right, perfect. Okay, so now, like I said, this is just a piece of that original cardstock there, and I thought that would look kind of nice hanging off of there. I'm not sure. Let me see. Like that, like it's a flower. Okay. Maybe like that. All right, so let me hold that a second. And then I'm going to put some glue on this, like so. Sit this back on there, so you know right where I want it. Just like that. Okay, I can take this off, press it down, and then trim off those edges I don't want. Just like so. Just trying to give it more dimension. Just another layer of dimension there. All right, so I'm going to glue this on now. This is my top part to that. And then once we get this done, then we'll be working on the stand that's going to hold this. So now just remember, I can give you the measurements to the circles I used for this can, but if you have a different can that you're going to use, or even if you're using the same type of can, just double check to make sure that's going to work for you. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, isn't that cute? It's starting to come together. Here we go. So the measurements I used for this can, and like I said, it was a, oh, I don't know the brand. I'm not sure what brand it was, and I already pulled it was just 28 ounce. I don't think I have the other piece. Anyway, so the measurements I used for this, I cut 2 solid circles, 7 1/4 each. So, and then on one of those, you snipped, oh, actually, both of those, you snipped the 1/2 inch all the way around. So that was this one we just did and this one. So, and then on this other circle here, you cut the 5-inch circle out of the center, okay? So 5-inch circle got cut. This is a 5-inch circle, got cut out of there. You can make it wider if you want. That just was what band was. And then for the colored cardstock, I cut 2 at 6 1/4, and then one has a 5-inch inside circle cut. So that's for the red cardstock, okay? So we can go ahead and glue our red on the back here. So there was just an inch difference in the this red outside circle because you didn't have the 1/2 inch all the way around to have to snip to create the edges. So we're just gonna glue that on there like that. And then this will just help cover up anything that might be visible. There we go. All right, so we've got our red on the front, red on the back. All right. Okay, let me get back out of my way. So now we've got these. these right here. These are cut at 2 inches, and this is my band for along the outside edge, okay? Now, as you can see, you might see a little bit in it, but some of this is going to get decorated, so let's go ahead and throw down our cardstock on the outside edge. Okay. I'm not sure if I've got... Again. Now again, this is not going to go all the way around. And I just glued the wrong side of that. Dang it. All right, I got to cut another strip of red. I've textured cardstock and I just put the glue on my textured side. And didn't realize it until I seen the label. I thought, oh, I just sat and glued the whole wrong side of that. So, all right. So I'm going to put this one on the bottom edge here because we know it's not going to go all the way around. All right. Oh, I might need to have hot glue for this one because of that band there. Let me see. And this part here probably won't be seen because it's going to be down in the down inside of the stand. All right, hold that. My finger's getting a bunch of glue on them. There we go. And let me grab another piece of red paper here. Cut 2 inches off of it. Oh, there we go. I think everything's kind of handy yet. So let me do that. I want to say it was 2, but I'm going to double check. Measure it just to make sure. It's a good thing I did because it's 2 and looks like 2 1/4. Let me measure this one here. 2 3/16. 2 3/16. Now that I see that, oops, dang it. I remember 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try again. And today is actually Halloween here in Michigan, and we are supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow. So my daughter and I have canceled our trick-or-treating for the night because she does not want to get sick, and the baby already has a bit of a coughy, nose runny thing going on. So I just made up like little trick-or-treat bags for the kids there. And she took them home to them, so hopefully that'll work. Okay, so that covers that and that. All right. My fingers are so sticky. All right, I think I've got that and that. Now this piece here is for the back. And that was that one sheet that I used there. And that's going to have a little bit more showing, which is fine. Do I want it going up and down? Sure, it's fine. There we go. Okay. Get this going up and down like that. It's just going to have a small edge, like an 1/8 of an inch edge all the way around. There we go. And that is just a bit crooked, so we're going to straighten that out just a tiny bit here. There we go. That looks straight. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to set this aside a second while we get our stand going. So that's what we have so far. It's looking pretty good. Got a shadow going on in there, but you can see that looks pretty good. These are my trinkets for that. So for the base, what I did was I took a scrap piece of paper, and this piece of paper measures 3 inches. So from the bottom edge up, I went up 1 5/8 up from the bottom, made a mark. And then I went in from this edge 1 1/2 inches. So from my paper corner here to here was 1 1/2 inches, made a mark. From this corner to this part was 1 5/8. So then I folded it in half. This whole piece here is, oops, let's get the right direction of my ruler here. Here we go. This piece is 7 3/4. So this is 7 3/4 wide by 3 inches high. Okay. So then I folded it in half, and then from this point to this point, I just made this kind of little arch here looking thing. Cut it out with my scissors. That's my template. So then I took my chipboard and laid it out on my chipboard, drew my pencil marks, and cut them out. So I have 2 of those, front and the back. I then took some scrap pieces of chipboard, and this is just leftover pieces from my package from my photos. And I just cut, it didn't matter, just random sizes. I just snipped them and made, they're probably about 1 inch, and then just bent them over and made like little feet for the top and the bottom. This is going to get glued onto here. And then I also took my round piece. Let me take the one that's dried here so you can see it. And I brought it down to match so when this came in and matched this corner and this corner, like this tip and this tip, I took my pencil and drew around that. So then I have that pencil mark on there. Then I knew how far this can was going to slide down into my base. So in order to keep that can from sliding all the way down in, I needed a stopper. So that's what these are going to be. These are going to stop that can from going all the way down to the bottom. So these feet, and I think these are just, I just kind of went in and figured out where I wanted to just keep it from stopping. And if there's anything hanging over, we'll trim it off. But these just happen to be, let me tell you how long these are. These are 2 inches long, and they are about 2 1/8 wide. So you could do them 2 by 2. So like I said, I just got 6, 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. And we're going to glue those down right like that. And that edge is going to meet up against there. This I'm going to use hot glue for because it'll be faster. So I'm going to put a little hot glue on these feet. And then we're going to press that down. And I want that to not hang off that edge. And I want it to be touching that line. And I don't care if there's extra glue. That doesn't bother me because it's not going to be seen. This is going to be sealed up. So, but I do want it touching that line to keep, this is going to act like a little table to hold that. Okay. So see, there's a little hanging off there. Just going to kind of trim in. There's really not much, just a little tiny piece there. Hanging off there. There we go. We're going to do the same thing. I made 2 of them. If you think you need more, you can make more, but I just made 2. Same exact size. Same thing. Little hot glue here. And then we're going to set this one to match that line there. And then I'm going to run that on an angle just like that. Just like that. So if you look at that, you can see that now this can is going to be stopped. It won't go any further down than that. This piece is going to be glued onto those feet there. Okay? So that's how I came up with because I knew I needed to stop. Otherwise, it's just going to go right down to the bottom of that. All right. See, and if you have a different idea for a different stand, you can go ahead and create whatever stand you want. Now, I need these to be even. I need them to be the same so that when I put my thing on, all right, so like there's my lines on that one. Okay. So let me put these on. So these pieces here are going to be glued onto there. That is going to be my width of my stand. See? Just like that. So that's my end pieces. Okay? So let's go ahead and glue those on. And these are actually going to get glued right onto the outside there, just like that. Okay? So let's go ahead and put that on there. And then we're just going to butt those up against each other just like that. So I'm going to actually stand it just like this. It'll be easier for me. You can see. And then I know this is flat, and then this is flat at the bottom here too. So, okay. So that works like that. Perfect. I'm going to glue this side on. And it's going to get extra reinforcement here in a minute, but for right now, it's going to have to be like that. And I'm going to make sure that that's square. You can see it, but I need to see it too. So I'm going to bring that back down here like that. I need that to be square on there. So I'm going to tip this one, just like that. Again, this is flat here. This is pressing up against there like that. Perfect. Oops, don't come unglued. Don't come unglued. I'm going to let those set up just a second because I don't want to mess with them and have them come unglued. This will get more sturdy here in a minute. Okay. Here's my second one for my other end. And I did paint the both ends of those just in case. Just in case. These are just scraps of cardstock. They were cut down 1 inch, and then I scored them at 1/2 inch. So that's all that is just scrap cardstock. I'm doing the same thing, making sure that the inside of this, the end of this is on the inside. Okay, this one's going to be the same. All right, I'm going to get my hot glue on those. other 3 things here. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, I don't care if it's too much. Okay. Before that sets up, I want to put my glue on this. Whoops, can't see it. Put my glue on here. So they're all ready to go all at the same time. So I'm matching this up on the end. Pinching that. Whoops, come on. Get back in there. Get back in there. All right. Like that. And then I'm going to tip this over so I can press these feet down before that glue dries. There we go. See? Just like that. All right, so that is our little stand. Now we got to start reinforcing this and finishing it up here a second. So let me cover my glue again. That's wonderful glue, but it dries quick. So I've taken this, and this is similar to what we did for the circles, only this is a flat piece. This is going to be glued right down onto there. Oh, that's going to be too wide. Didn't cut that wide enough. So this is going to sit in there. So why didn't I not cut this wide enough? Okay, so we're going to have to redo this. It's odd. Maybe I can get away with not having that. Let me see if these strips are wide enough. All right, so here are my front and my back red. Okay, so let's go ahead and get, I'm not going to cut those yet because I have to glue these on. So let me see if I can come up with this. Okay, so let me see how wide this is. This is 2.5 inches. So I need 3 inches. So let's go ahead and cut this 3 inches wide here. So I need a piece 3 inches. And we'll get this done together here. All right. So 3 inches wide. And that is going to be just like that. So let me sit this on there. And we probably will get away with this. I could have gone a little bit wider. Probably should have. But let me take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line here and here. And then we're going to snip. So we're going to snip these. Looks like that's kind of a little bit. All right. So we're just going to snip lines. Looks like it's curved a little bit, but that's fine. So we're just going to snip some lines and go to that pencil line. This makes the video go a little bit longer, sorry. This is why I try to prep things ahead of time, and I did, but apparently I didn't think that measurement out very good there. All right. So now we're going to kind of fold those down a little bit. Get them kind of started. Get them started. All right. And then this is going to go from here. Let's see how that will follow that curve. And then we'll do this one down. Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and cut this in half. We'll do half on this side and half on the other side. And then we'll cover that with thread cardstock again. So let me just go ahead and cut this. Okay. So I'm going to kind of get this used to the idea of bending. And we're going to do one side and then the other. Okay. So I'm going to get this side here and that side there. All right. let's go ahead and get some glue on here, just like so. All right, and I'm gonna take my card here. I got my fingers underneath it and I'm just kind of pinching that down there, like so. Just try to form it to there. Just like that. There we go. There we go, that's that one. Get a little bit more glue down in there. Okay. Right, so let's go to this side. Put a little bit of glue down here, like that. And you can make it straight across if you want, just to hold it. But I just thought it would look nice to be just a little bit fancier. But you don't have to do that. You can just, see, follows that curve very nicely. And then when we put our other pieces on, that'll cover that up. There we go. Okay, so now, okay. So let's bring this part way down here, like that, part way down here like that. And I can actually put some glue on this too. On that edge there, see that? There we go. And I'm actually going to snip. Let's snip this one off of there, so it's not in the way, and we'll snip this one off of there, I think, so that one's not in the way, so it can compensate for that corner. Here we go. That's going to get covered again anyway, so we're not too worried about that. The glue. My fingers are going to be so glued up. Here we go. All right. Perfect. There. That's going to get covered. Let's try our other side here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this, some glue going there. Just like that. Same process. Oh, my husband is home. Making a mess of this paper here. With all the nasty glue on my fingers. That is Gerda. She is 6 years old. She's our German Shepherd. She's 126 pounds, so she's a big girl. Her dad was 150, and she adores my husband, and he feels the same way. So, I mean, she likes me too, but she gets so excited because he plays with her a lot more than I do, you know, so. But, all right. So let me go ahead and snip this one here. So once he comes in, he'll quiet her down, and he will get her to calm down a little bit. So back to him. All right. So let's put some glue right there. Glue along there. Actually, once we get this done, then the decorating can start. Pretty sure. We got to get this all done first. All right. So there. So now this will sit right in there just like that. Okay. See how nice that looks? Isn't that cool? So not too bad. One little glitch. You can see I've got a little overhang here. That one here. So get that trimmed off. I do have a piece for the bottom, but we'll do that last. All right. So now I've got my two, that one was for. And let me see if I've got a little bit of water here in a paper towel to get my fingers cleaned off. Hang on. My hands are just so goopy. Whoops. Water on my project. I usually have baby wipes or something in here, but I don't have them in here right now. So, all right. Yuck. Okay. I usually don't have that much glue on me, but there's a lot of gluing. So now let's go ahead and take our two pieces here. And we're gonna, I've already got these marked. You can see the pencil mark on there. I'm going to trim that off. Just like so. Can you hear him? He's just there. Cute. All right. So that's that side. Let's just double check to make sure I don't have one for one side, one for the other. Oh, okay. Doesn't really matter. Perfect. Just want to double check. You never know. Sometimes they fit better one way than they do another way. There we go. Now this cardstock, I can tell you what cardstock it is here in a second if you're curious about that. Oops. All right. I'm going to tip this over so I can press on that. Just like that. Get that pressed down in there good. I don't want to press on it from the top because I don't want to be bending that chipboard. It's a little high, but that's all right. It's not a big deal. All right. Ooh, water. Water, water. All right, let's see here. All right. Perfect. Do the same to this one here. And just cut that. And I penciled on the back side so that I would not have pencil marks to worry about on the front of my cardstock. Here we go. Okay. Put this one there, just like that. Flip that over. You can do the same thing. Press from the bottom. That good adhesion there. That's just a little water. That's going to dry off it. Okay. All right, perfect. Oh, he took her outside. Okay, so now we've got to come up with some little bit of cardstock for these end pieces here. And I am thinking, so let me see. We need, let's figure 1 5/8 by 2 1/2. Okay, so let's get the trimmer. And these are just pieces of scratch card stock. 1 5/8. So that is right here, I believe. It's looking like. Let's just check. Perfect. And what did I say? Why? I think I said 2.5. 2.5. Right. So we should have enough here for both of these. Okay. Okay. Do a double check before we get our glue ready. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Oops, sorry, not a frame here. All right. There we go. Try to make it as neat as possible. Checking my texture. And it's not, you can't really feel a lot of the texture, but it is there on this one. So, all right. Down there like that. Back in already. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So now for the front of this, I chose this piece here. I want that centered though, so what I ended up having to do is I'm going to have to add a little piece of this on this end so that I can use that on the front here. Okay, so let me see here. So I'm going to line that up just like that. I want to save that bird. So I'm going to trim that off like that. Just like so. So that will go like that. Now let's tip this over. And then I can draw this one out. Okay. Let me see it. All right. Ooh, get that. Hi, honey. I'm being shushed. I'm making a video. Yes, I am. I don't want your video. Okay. You better leave the room. We're going to darken that so I can see it a little better. There we go. All right. I'll trim that down like that. I just double check to make sure I don't cut it short. Perfect. There we go. Just like that. Let me see. I'm gonna stick there. Just like that. Okay. So we got that and that. And I think I am going to have to trim the end a little bit more here. Let me see. That's good. That's good. But as you can see on the bottom, it's a little, oh, no, I guess not. I thought it was a little long, but it's really not. I think I'm good. It's just going to be this little bit here. I'm just going to take a little bit more off of this here. Just a tiny bit. Just like that. Check on this one. Like I said, some of them are a little different. Okay, there. think that's about perfect. I think I can trim that off afterwards. So let's go ahead and glue this part on. And if we have to adjust and cut off a tiny bit, we're all right. Sometimes these, when you do these, build these things from scratch like that, especially with the curves and stuff, it might not be perfectly square. Oh, there we go. All right. There we go. Yes, you can. Yep. Nope, you're fine. All right, so now we're going to take this piece here and we're going to add that over here. And this is going to get decorated, so the difference isn't going to be that much. So I think I'm just going to do that like that. Because like I said, that's going to get decorated. So let's go ahead and turn this over like so. I'm going to draw my pencil lines for that. There we go. And it's only because I wanted that phrase on the front there. That's why I have to have that extra little piece there. Okay. If I didn't, if I would have put a different piece there, I would have been fine. But I did want that as my front. So that's the compromise I had to make. Because otherwise it would have been off a little bit. Okay. And like I said, I'm not worried about the difference there because this is going to get decorated. All right, I can see I've got a little bit hanging over there, but I'm going to give that just a little bit to dry up so I'm not cutting through wet, and then we'll fix that. Now this side, I didn't have that problem, so this should be just one piece. I want the bird, so I'm going to bring that right down to there, just like that. And try to match that up there, like so. See that, how that's got just a tiny, tiny bit? It's just because it's not perfectly square. And I'm good with that because if that's all I'm off, I can live with that. It's not going to be that visible to the average person just looking at it. So I am good with that. I can live with that. A little bit of overage there. Trim it off when we're done. Okay. This is, I have not touched this paper pack for a reason. I just fell in love with this paper, and I had a hard time cutting into this. So I want to make an album. That's why I have a full pack of the front papers. I think you get 20 sheets in a pack. So I had purchased a whole pack of just the front pieces, and then one pack of the 12 by 12 paper pack. And I didn't get in, and I wish I would have, but I did not. So, and this is not available no more. Hopefully someday they might come back out with it. That would be nice. But unless I run across it in something, I don't have them. But I kind of kick myself now for not. All right, so let me grab my Cricut mat here a second and my blade. I'm going to trim off. You can see there's a little bit here. Trim that off. I mean, it's just a sliver. You see that? That is all I was off on that. So that's not bad. This one is even, see, just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, so let's see here. That's good, that's good. I'm going to have to turn this way so I can cut that off this way. Okay. The red's off there just a little bit. Let's see. There we go. All right. Okay. There we go. That one was still drying, and that's what I was trying to avoid. All right. So that is pretty good. All right. Okay. Coming right along here. Now we need to cover our ends, and I think I'm just gonna do, I want to take some of this brown here and distress these edges here. Get rid of that white. Okay. So I'm gonna do that while I can get at them. All right. This is just the walnut stain. Oh no, this is frayed burlap. I am sorry. This is frayed burlap, not walnut stain. Okay. Get this all done up right now. There we go. All right, perfect. So we're going to use this little piece here, scrap, but we can use this one too. Yeah, let's use this one. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So again, we're going to do 2 5/8 or 1 5/8 by 2 1/2. 1 5/8 by 2 1/2. 1 5/8. 1 5/8 by 2 1/2. 2 1/2. Here we go. Okay. And I'm going to glue that one right here. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and ink these real quick there. And I know this is a long video. So I think once I get this part done, I'm going to stop and we will decorate it tomorrow because it is getting late and my husband will want dinner. So we will finish this little part up here and then decorate tomorrow. That's too short. So let's do this one. 1 5/8. Just like that. Then I won't feel rushed. And by 2 1/2. And I can relax the rest of the evening because I have been at this all day too. So, well, almost all day. Most of it. I did go with my daughter to the grocery store for a bit this afternoon for my granddaughter, but that was only about an hour. Other than that, I've been working on this. So let's go ahead and put that there like that. Perfect. Yeah. Stand that down like that. Press it down there. Okay. This is probably getting extended out there too anyway. So, all right. So that is where we are going to stop for tonight. And I'm going to put this in there and lay it on its side so you can get an idea. Oops. And there's straight. Get an idea of what it's going to look like. Oops. Let's do the right side. There we go. There we go. I do see that in there though. That aluminum cardstock in there. Because if you can see the aluminum? Can't have that. Can't have that. We will fix it. Oh, this is adorable though. Perfect. All right, we're going to end there. And then video number 2 will be the decorating and finishing up the bottom. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the video, and I hope you come back for part 2. And a thumbs up is always appreciated. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, if you go below this video and hit that red subscribe button, then a bell should pop up. And if you hit the bell, then you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. So until the next time, I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.